Good morning. Just started this live stream. It's 8 o'clock Pacific time, 8 o'clock a.m. Pacific time. I was already doing some trades this morning. I couldn't get on a live stream, but we'll go over that. I just want to confirm we're live and go from there. Yeah, looks like we are. Yeah, I'm showing my order flow screen today. I usually have it in a different screen, but I think today it's a choppy market. I'm showing more of this view instead of the original 20K volume that I use here. And yeah, so I'm up $507 on my PA accounts. I didn't touch my evaluation accounts today. And yeah, they weren't in the order copier, so they weren't like I took them out when I was trading micros. But yeah, so like I was trying to trade full contracts with them, but I didn't see the opportunity for a full contract in those cases. I'll go over that when a few more people join here, some of my trades and so on. But pretty choppy day today. Yeah, so some of the trades I took this morning, I took two trades in this kind of choppy market. One of the trades was basically we had this bar right here around almost 7 o'clock. We had it kind of rally up in the morning. We had 828 negative delta, even though it was going up still. And then eventually we broke down here. And then it pulled back into this cluster of orders here, and that's where I took the short and then wrote it down into this volume profile area here and called it, this is the hourly volume profile, and just locked it in because I didn't expect too much for it to continue lower. One of the main reasons too was NASDAQ. This is the same move that we had on NASDAQ, and it significantly pushed higher out of the previous hour volume profile. So when it was pulling back here, I just locked in ES because I didn't expect it to break these lows initially. I didn't even think it's going to test this lower. I thought it was going to stop somewhere around here and then go up. So so this is kind of how it looks like the first trade. So we had this push up here, broke down out of that cluster of orders that I was talking about here at 4140-ish. And then this is 1 minute candle bar, broke out, it came back here, shorted at 41.40, locked it in at 41.36.25-ish, and then eventually it stalled, which is what I was expecting. I didn't expect this to keep going lower. It stalled with only 250 negative delta on this bar, and when it broke out of this cluster of orders here, I ended up going long and catching another smallish move for another amount. And that's the beauty of leveraging accounts. You could trade micros and still make a good amount of profit on the day, basically, even though you're not really risking a lot, and that's kind of the. I used to trade minis all the time, and I just kind of realized it's unnecessary when you have a lot of paid accounts, and Apex Trader Funding is a legit company. I've got paid out by them already, so it's basically, yeah, no reason for me to trade full contracts and risk much more money. They are actually doing they just announced last night they are doing another 80% off discount. So you could get an account for as low as $31, which includes a NinjaTrader license and market data, which is a great deal. I would highly recommend it for either new traders or advanced traders, because yeah, you don't need to risk your money to be getting to trade more accounts and withdraw a lot of money from them. So thought I would mention that. But yeah, what we're seeing right now, we are seeing, so right now, like we have this market that just pushed up a little bit in the last, this is 732 bar. These are volume bars, by the way, 20,000 volume bars. Pushed up, went down a little bit, the value. And I think this might be a decent short here, because we're seeing some selling picking up here. So I think I'm actually going to take a short here, small stop here above probably just literally above here, like a dollar point. Hopefully I get filled. Probably just going to move it one tick lower. Profit is kind of tricky on where to take it. Come on, fill me. Yeah, see, we're seeing, and I do have on my other screen, I see NASDAQ is selling off too. So that's kind of helping make me make this decision on taking the short. We're seeing value kind of dropping. We've seen, there you go, I just got filled. Yeah, I'm actually going to move it here. I want it to breathe a little bit. Oh yeah, I might get stopped here. Might do like one tick higher. Yeah, NASDAQ is kind of stalled here, but let's see. Thinking of adding maybe another contract. Still like this trade. Yeah, I don't know what the little one candle bar. Yeah, we're pretty bearish still right now, at least from the ES standpoint. I'm like debating moving my stop a little bit higher just to have rooms to breathe. It feels like this is too close. But yeah, we're in the green now. Yeah, I actually did turn on my my unpaid accounts here to copy this trade. I was initially had it off this morning because I wanted to do some full contracts, but the market was too choppy, so I didn't want to get chopped around. All right, there you go. We're seeing that move that I was expecting. Glad I didn't get stopped out here. Almost a couple ticks here. We're off to the races. Yeah, so see what we're seeing right now is we're seeing 885 negative delta on this. So it's counting all of these bars right here, which is also the difference between buyers and sellers for each particular tick. And we're seeing, yeah, basically almost 1,000 more sellers than buyers on this bar right here. So I'm expecting this value. See, it's trading right here basically right now. I'm expecting this value to drop lower. There you go. And it looks kind of like this on 1 minute bar right now. But see how it's much more clear. You just see all these sellers picking up here. You see 1800 negative delta, and then you just at this point you're just looking at where do you take the profit. I'm kind of tempted to lock in. Yeah, we have Nasdaq like at these lows here, but we have Nasdaq just broke the low of day, which we might see a potential, because I'm actually gonna take this profit here, right here. I'll explain why. Let me try to get filled first. Yeah, I'm gonna move it up one tick. There you go. Just got filled. Yeah, I'm up now 900. So even though I'm trading, that was a mini that I just took, one mini, and I was up 507 before I started the stream. Now I'm up $911. That was a $400 trade on one mini, which is pretty awesome. And these are all paid accounts, by the way. It starts with a PA. These are all paid. These are not. So I have 16 paid accounts and then 4 non-paid accounts. But yeah, just circling back to why I took profit here. So, and see, this is a pretty good decision. I might re-enter the short very soon. But one of the things I always notice is when we have a market that's just in this almost like a range type sideways market, and you and you could see it. Sorry, and you could see it in the order flow too. You have like almost these bars, undecisive kind of where they're going for now, and when you see that, and then you see a strong push on the Nasdaq breaking the lows. I was expecting this right here. Basically, yeah, it could have continued. I didn't really see anything on the news of what's dropping this significantly. Yeah, there's nothing new coming up right now. So I was expecting this to push down and then kind of retest and then maybe continue lower. So that was my logic on taking that profit, because where we're at in this market right now is pretty range bound. It could have easily kept going, but I'm taking kind of this low of the volume profile here, and I think that was a good enough opportunity to lock in that profit. It was about $450 in profit from that one little trade. So that's kind of the little reasoning there. It's more of a scalp, because this market is pretty choppy kind of looking. Yeah, and look at that. That was a perfect exit. Got out. Now it's retesting. See, now this is actually where I am considering reshorting into this cluster of orders right here, where we saw majority of the selling happening. And I'm just looking at Nasdaq right now. This might be a good short here. I just don't want to jump in yet. I'm seeing some buyers. Okay, a little bit of selling here at the... Yeah, I am tempted to take this short here, or reshort at a better price. Yeah, that was a great exit. I would already be on a break-even mode right here. Yeah, and this is what I was saying. Nasdaq tested these lows on no news. Now it's retesting higher, so it's yeah, I'm gonna take this short actually here with a small stop above. Basically how I see it is it's a free trade. Like it's actually like it's more than a free trade, because I already locked in most of this profit. So if I get stopped out, that's fine. But I do see potential rejection, and I'm still deciding if I want to keep my stop above the daily high here, which is not that much higher. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it there, and then I'll reassess as it's trading. But yeah, so the reason I'm shorting here, for example, is we had 1800 negative delta here, pushed lower. Now it's kind of retesting this area, so I could obviously break out, there is a lot of buying. That's why I'm a little bit hesitating to short. But I think we are in a little bit of a downtrend right now, especially Nasdaq breaking these lows. It's testing this volume cluster here, so we might just see some resistance here, but we'll see. I think this is a good setup for decent setup. It's not a great setup, but I think it's a good setup, especially since I already locked in some profits on it. So worst case, yeah, I'll take a very small loss. Yeah, I do not like the buying here. 1,400 more buyers than sellers on this bar right now. But sometimes I go against this, especially if the move is more favoring me. But I don't know how comfortable I am on holding this long, because we are kind of seeing a rejection off of those lows too. We're seeing like it tested it, didn't like it, and just bounced back up. So yeah, I'm not really it's not a great setup, but it's not a bad setup for a short here. Yeah, Nasdaq. I want Nasdaq to stall above here. I don't want it to break this price right here. If it does, yeah, I might get stopped out probably. Yeah, it looks like it's breaking out. Yeah, 2,200 delta here. That's not good for my short. Yeah, let's see if my stop will hold here. Yeah, Nasdaq keeps broke out of this value area. I mean, it's still bearish for me. It did broke out of this value area. Now it's obviously retesting it. It still has like this area to test that I was kind of hoping would hold. It has this volume cluster and this volume cluster. So I think if it breaks obviously above this, I'm going to be way more bearish. But right now I'm still, or sorry, if it breaks out of this, I'll be bullish. But right now I'm still bearish on Nasdaq. ES is a little bit stronger today. We have, yeah, it didn't break the lows, so it's kind of still in a more of a not trendy, like more of a sideways market, not bearish market. So as Nasdaq is, like to me, this is more bearish than ES. But there you go. I'm basically almost break even here. We're seeing, let's turn back to order flow. We are seeing, yeah, definitely kind of pushing out of these bars, clusters of orders here. So it might like retest here, almost where my break even is, and then keep going higher. All depends on what Nasdaq was going to be doing. So I'm kind of keeping an eye on that right now. I don't like the 2,200. I'm very tempted to just lock this in a break even. Yeah, I'm just going to move that actually. Maybe even take a 1 tick loss. Yeah, I'm actually going to move it up a little bit. I do not like trading against anything over 2,000 negative delta. That's a little bit too strong for me. I think I should be even more pickier with how I get out right now, not wait for 1 tick loss. Let's move it down a little bit. Yeah, should have moved it to a smaller loss, not break even, but it's fine because Nasdaq is picking back up right now, so I might just get stopped out. I am seeing on the order flow why I was a little bit picky. We're not seeing strong buying going on here, so I think I'll get filled here for a couple tick loss. Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on NASDAQ here. I'm actually going to lower this now to break even. I think we might see a little push down. Trying to manage this trade a little bit. Again, I don't really care if I even get stopped out of this trade because I already locked in a good amount on the short. Yeah, there you go. We're seeing some selling on NASDAQ. This is what I was mentioning earlier. We saw this break out of this volume area. It's retesting it and then keeps going lower. And so I'm like tempted to, yeah, I think I'll still probably grab, I'll take out like a one tick loss here. Again, like the reason for ES, why I'm trying to get out here too, I don't like this right here. I saw this selling here. That's where I locked in the profit. Yeah, I just got out for one tick loss. Not bad at all. Yeah, because I locked in here, this profit right here, I kind of explained. You could go back, explain why I did that. When I came back here, when I shorted here on ES, we didn't see 2000. We saw, I think it was like 700, 400 buying, but then it eventually turned into 2,200 more buyers and sellers, and to me that was a little bit too much to try to go against. So I just locked in the one tick loss, even though I already caught a good amount here. So I'll see what happens. I do see some selling picking up right here, 900. More sellers than buyers, which it is leaning against a 2200 bar. So I'm kind of keeping an eye on it right now. Yeah, this is a pretty choppy market here, so not a huge fan. I'm being very picky here for now. Yep, there you go. We're seeing some selling going on here. 1200, that's a good amount. I want to see a break, kind of this cluster of orders here. Right now it's kind of trading into it. Hopefully my potential break-even trade here was probably a bad exit, but we'll see here. But for those people that are joining, yeah, I'm up $866 on all my accounts. 16 of them are paid already. These are PA accounts. These are all fully funded accounts that I have. So I'm up, basically $49 after commissions on all the paid accounts, and then I have evaluation accounts, which is about $18 per account. These are still non-paid. They start with Apex. Here's one of the trades I took here. Small trade here, and then I went long here, locked it in, and then right here took a short here, locked it in, and then took a short here, and I took a one tick stop here because I didn't like what I saw, which looks like it's turning. It looks better now for a short to keep holding than I initially when I got out. But yeah, this was a pretty beautiful, nice setup here when we had this breakout right here on the 1 minute. Retested the volume cluster of orders here. So I saw this 800, so it gave me an indication to potentially take a short. Then it broke out with this bar already, broke out, and then it retested this cluster of orders here, and that's where on the 1 minute I took a short here. almost to at the tick to the high, like one tick higher, it would have not even filled me, or one tick lower, and then it sold off. And then yeah, like I said, I was taking profit. I didn't expect this to keep going lower. I do look at both markets, Nasdaq and ES. Nasdaq was significantly higher at this point. When it was pushing lower, it was probably around here when I got out for profit. I didn't expect it to break this low initially, which it stalled at, and then it tried to go higher, and then eventually broke down. That's why I was taking a short the just now too, because it was breaking here, like it was significantly selling off here when when ES was still pretty high, so, and they were selling as well, so I took a short here, locked it in as it was breaking, as it broke this right here, and it's a sideways market day. I don't expect this to trend crazy down, so I just locked it in, and that was a good profit taking because it went much higher. Let's see, going back to ES here. Yeah, we have definitely a good potential opportunity to short here. Reshort. I had the right picture initially when I shorted here, locked it in. I reshorted at a better price, but I just got out for a small loss here. But I might just get in at a worse price here because I like this short here. We're seeing 22,000 negative delta here. Nasdaq is also showing a little bit of weakness. This is what I was just saying. I don't know if people were here. Some people were here, but basically I was expecting it to, when it's retesting here, it's testing this volume cluster orders here. It did break it a little bit, but then we have this bar right here, which that's where it held this cluster of orders here, and then we have obviously this one. So for me to invalidate this being non-bearish for Nasdaq, it would have to break above 1303 here. And so like as it's going up here, these were opportunities for a short, but like Nasdaq was much weaker than ES. ES confused me with the 2200 delta. Now we have almost 2000 sellers here, which is why I'm thinking of getting back in on this short here, which I probably will here, maybe at 41.39.25 ish. Because what we're seeing here is we had volume building up, then it broke out, retested it, broke it out a little bit, and now it's actually again turning. So it's not really clear right now. It's not like kind of like here where I took that short or here when I took that long. It's a little bit in this like very kind of messy sideways market, but you could still make money in the sideways market. You just have to kind of realize that this is a sideways market, and you just lock in profits or take smaller stops too. Don't let it go against you if it decides to go up. Yeah, so 30, 41, 38 here. Yeah, I'm thinking, yeah, I'm definitely interested in the short here. We do have, it's a little bit kind of overlapping each other, but we have volume profile here. It's for each hour, which I look at, and I don't really like it on ES. It's not really, it's very range bound for one, and two, if you're looking at it, we have value for the 6 o'clock hour building up here, then it's building up a little bit higher, and now it's building up even a little bit higher on the 8 o'clock hour. So it's almost like this is a little bit trending up, but So it's like I am a little bit cautious on the on being cautious on the short here, but Nasdaq is, yeah, it's different. That's why I look at two markets, because you could have Nasdaq be super trending and ES is, let's say, weaker, and you're trying to short it, and eventually it's just gonna be it's not gonna go down if Nasdaq is trending. And same with ES. If Nasdaq is going down and ES is, you're going long on ES, it's you're not really gonna see a strong move on ES. So like that's why I always look at two markets. It's I do keep constantly switching between different windows here, because that's what I'm displaying. I do have four screens that I'm looking at, so I'm always seeing the both markets very clearly. But yeah, I think I'm gonna take a short here at 39. Let's probably, yeah, I'll just do a stop at all-time highs here for the day. Yeah, hopefully it'll get filled here. I might move it a little bit lower. We're seeing a little bit more selling coming through. All right, yep, I'm filled here on 20 accounts. Yeah, I could show you guys I'm filled here. Yeah, I'm like thinking basically on ES, the profit. It's like it's hard to say exactly where I'm gonna lock in the profits here if it goes my way, but so I don't have a clear, when it's range bound, it's hard to see. Like I usually just go with the order flow and lock it in as I see what the price is doing. Not, I don't have a set, because it could, for example, if this thing just starts to become trendy, I'm not gonna lock in at a set target. I'm gonna lock it in at a much lower price, but yeah, I don't like that short, at least at that price. It's significantly stronger than Nasdaq, because Nasdaq was testing kind of this initial balance area right here, and it's fine. Yeah, I found support, so I might get stopped out here. I'm not seeing strong buying on this push right here. We're seeing only, yeah, actually it's still negative delta here. It's pretty balanced out, but I'm actually gonna take another contract here. I'll move a couple ticks here, or at least try to short another couple contracts. Nasdaq or ES is definitely overall showing strength, like I was saying, on the last 3 hours, but right now it's showing some weakness, and I'm kind of hoping for this to hold and sell off, at least probably maybe test some of these lows here at 41.34-ish. Looks like I didn't get filled at that second contract. That would have been nice. Seeing some selling here, which is good. Nasdaq is also showing a little bit of selling pressure here. If Nasdaq holds between the 13,303, basically, if it doesn't break this, it is to me a bearish picture on Nasdaq here. So I would definitely be cautious for longs here. The only thing is, ES is, I usually try to trade ES, sometimes trade NASDAQ, but by the time, if NASDAQ actually goes up all the way up here when it's testing this peak right here, I think ES is going to be making daily highs. It's going to be breaking out of here, so I'll be out of this trade. So I'm not. It's even though it's still even though Nasdaq would still be bearish if it's let's say testing this price right here, 13,296. But I think at that point I'll be stopped out on ES. Welcome for new people that joined. If you have any questions, feel free to leave something in the comments. I'll try to get through them as we're just sitting here watching together. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I didn't get filled at this short here at 41.25. It was like one tick away. That would have been nice. Nice little short. Yeah, I don't think we have anything else on the news notable today. We do have, I think, a Fed speaker speaking at 9 o'clock. Fed Williams speaks 9:05 Pacific time. Aside from that, nothing to be concerned about. But yeah, this market, that's what I was saying. I'm like, I don't know how far it's gonna go. I'm like, I might just lock it in pretty soon here. I don't want to trade during the 9 o'clock, 9 to 10 time frame. I just Pacific time during the lunch hour. That's I was hoping I would have got filled here, because then it would average my price probably to like in the 41.40s here. If I locked it in at like 41.36, would have been a decent profit and just called it good. But I don't. This market has been pretty sideways all day today. So I'm like not expecting. I think if anything, we might see a fake out above or below, and then just kind of keep being range bound, which definitely a boring market to trade. So I'm happy I was able to do a few scalps here and there, lock in a good amount of profit still for the day. Yeah, I'm like very tempted to get out here. I'm looking at net. We're not seeing anything here like too much strength on NASDAQ and ES. NASDAQ is showing a little bit of buying here, and ES is just kind of stuck here. So unless this changes here shortly, I'll probably be looking to take profit and then call it good for the day, but we'll see. But that's the beauty of trading on 20 accounts is you don't need to catch big moves if you keep your risk tight, and you could still make over almost $1,000 on a sideways market like this, trading micros and making a good amount of money on a range bound market. And again, like Apex is doing that 90% off discount right now, or sorry, 80% off discount, so you could get an account for as low as like $31, I think. I like completely switched to completely trading. I don't trade my personal account anymore because I have 20. I have 16 funded accounts and then 4 non-funded accounts. So it's for me, it doesn't make sense trading my personal account. Like I have to like switch windows and so on when I could just focus on 20 accounts and make a good amount of profit. Yeah, I'm actually gonna lock in this, or at least try to. Oh, sorry, it's this one. Let's see. Actually, hold up. I'm gonna wait a little bit longer. This is I still have that order outstanding for. I'm actually just gonna move it higher here to not confuse me. This is the profit or the short here, and then stop loss, automatic stop loss that it places, and that's the profit taking order. I am trying to get out. I'm gonna be done for the day after I take after I get out of this trade here. I'm seeing a little bit of kind of indecisiveness here, and one thing why I'm holding it is I'm on NASDAQ. I'm seeing as this is pushing a little bit higher, I'm seeing some negative selling here, and I think maybe we might see a little push down, kind of maybe test some of these lows, and yeah, there you go. We're seeing that here, and that's pushing ES lower too. So that's why I moved my target lower, because I always look at those two markets. But yeah, I'm just gonna lock in here, I think. Call it good for the day. Exotic birds. No, I'm not trading in NinjaTrader. I'm trading in Sierra Chart. Because it is a little bit complicated to set up. Yeah, I'm out of this trade. Let me hold up. I need to cancel my other orders. Sorry, to go back. I am trading on Sierra Chart instead of NinjaTrader. I personally I've been using it for I think like 3.5, 4 years now, and to me it's much better than NinjaTrader. At least I have a lot of friends that use NinjaTrader, and they're seeing like issues. Like for example, I guess I'm not trying to bash on NinjaTrader, but they are seeing like sometimes when the market's too volatile, they're seeing slowness and they don't believe it's their computer, but who knows, it might be. And the other reason why I use Sierra Chart is I think the indicators here are better than NinjaTrader, and they're free. Like all the stuff that I use is free. And a lot of my friends, I would be like, oh, do you have like even like for example this delta, which shows the difference between buyers and sellers, and they have to like pay for that, like from a developer that built it, which they don't have this like stock. Maybe they have these number bars that I'm using. I'm not entirely sure, but I think it just, to me, just way more seamless. And obviously it's subjective, because I mean I have been using it for a while. It is a complicated software to figure out in the beginning. There's like a lot of kind of documentation that you have to read and so on. So it's pretty it takes a while to get used to. But I did use TradeStation before this, which I liked. I think to me what I didn't like was like for example, I think I switched to around that time I switched to Interactive Broker, and you can't like use Interactive Broker with like on TradeStation. You have to basically have TradeStation trading services and TradeStation charts, for example, versus Sierra. I could have, yeah, like I was trading interactive broker with it for the last like 3.5 years, and then in the last maybe 2 years, or sorry, in the last like 5 months or 6 months, I switched to Apex Trader Funding, and now I'm just trading those accounts on Sierra, so I didn't have to change anything, which is pretty awesome. Yeah, so going back to here, so I took a profit here basically. So um, kind of into the low of this volume profile of the 8 o'clock hour, and now it's just kind of stalled here. So I think this market is pretty boring today. I don't think I want to risk any more. I'm up $1,046 for the day after commissions, which I think that's great considering a market that's been sideways. And I should have traded a little bit more on the valuation accounts. The four that I have, all of these are paid accounts, funded accounts. I should have traded on these, but I didn't. I was waiting to trade full contracts on them, the full ES contracts, but I didn't like what I saw on like this range bound, so I just didn't want to risk it. So I just traded on the mini on the micros, and then eventually I turned on the trade copier on them, which yeah, that's awesome. So for example, on with the trade copier, all I have to do is I just place it on one of my accounts, and it duplicates on all of those accounts, and that's also something that's free on Sierra Chart. It's very easy to set up, and I think NinjaTrader, yeah, you have to use like I think Apex Trader Funding. They have their own trade copier, which I think they charge like $200 or something. I think it's a lifetime fee, so it's not that much money, but it's still like not like I'd rather have a built-in thing that the company built, like for example Sierra Chart built, and just use that instead of trying to pay extra money and then use something that like a developer built like from outside of Sierra Chart, for example, or NinjaTrader. That's just kind of my opinion. That's like there's a lot of reasons why I like Sierra Chart. I just named a few. But I guess to summarize, so for people that just joined, I like why I was like how I made all this money like from on all my accounts today just on trading micros. So for example, we had this market. I started trading at 7 o'clock a.m. Pacific time, and we had this market went up here. I saw 828 negative sellers here, and then eventually when it broke out of here, I was basically already interested in a short here. I just didn't want to short as it's going up, even though there's negative delta, because sometimes delta could trick you out. It'll say negative delta because this is not that much negative delta. This is like out of 20,000 volume bars, it's only 800. So it's almost balanced out. So that's why you have to be cautious on trying to like, oh, you see some selling here. Like in this example, you had 600 and it still went up, right? So you kind of have to use some other confluence of reason to short. And so what we had here, we had value building up, volume profile for each 20K bar going up here, broke out, started building up higher here. But then when it broke out here and it looks something like this on the 1 minute, let me push this a little bit lower. So what we had, this is the breakout that I was saying. We had this 1 minute push down here, and it started retesting those this value area here. Like it basically broke it, went up to this price, and that's exactly where I shorted almost at the highs here, 41.40. I think I went to 41.25, 41.20.25. And then as it started dropping, I only locked in, like I got out at 41.36.25. One of the reasons was because it was trading into this cluster of orders here. Let me push this a little bit lower too, or to the side. And then one thing that I didn't like was, again, when I'm comparing NASDAQ, this is the similar push that we had at 7 o'clock, and it's a lot more bullish than ES is. So when it was pushing lower, I'm like, I don't think this is gonna be, um, I don't think this is just gonna like break through this cluster of orders here from the 6 o'clock. I think this is gonna push, like stall here and then go up. So I locked in the profit here. It did go a little bit lower, and I actually did not expect Nasdaq to push this lower, but I did definitely not expect this to break. So it kind of stalled out here, pushed higher, couldn't find any buyers, and then sold off. And so like as it was like trading here, Nasdaq and ES, if you look here, so when I saw this orders here building up, when it broke out, I took a little pullback here and I went long. So right here, it basically broke out, pushed into that cluster of orders from the 10 o'clock, from the 20,000 volume bar, broke out, went back here, went long. And again, this is a scalpy market to me. I don't expect it to be like super trendy, like goes to 50s, for example. I'm kind of expecting this range bound. And then so that's why I locked in at 30, 41, 38 here. I think I'm trying to remember why I got out here. I think it was Nasdaq also related. Yeah, I think it was right here. We saw this push higher and then rejected it with negative delta, and I was just like, yeah, that's enough for me to realize I'll just take profit. And that was almost like next minute it started selling off. So that was a good call there. I should have rebought here. I think there was an opportunity because we had the value building up here. When it broke it started building lower, but then as it was breaking out, I should have went long and caught some of the move too, but can't catch them all. I was just and then eventually we saw, so that was the second trade there, and then we saw the market go up into this area right here, and this is where I saw a lot of sellers stepping in here as it was breaking out of the value of the 20K bars. And also Nasdaq was significantly weaker. The same push on ES was this high here is the same high as this one right here. So it was basically a lot weaker. So I'm like, and then I saw this bar of selling stepping in. So I'm like, yeah, this thing's going to probably go lower. And I'm getting a pretty good price on Nasdaq here. So took a short here. As it was dropping, this is all live. I was trading. I was talking about it. I was like, when I took profit was actually when it broke out of this low here of the initial balance, and I was like, okay, I think this is going to be a range bound market for now, and ES is actually not even breaking those lows. It's testing the volume profile of the previous hours. I'm taking profit here. Yeah, it could obviously break it. That's fine. But if I'm expecting a range-bound market, I'm just going to lock in the profit there. So I did, and that was perfect, almost exit there. And then that's when I was calling out. I'm like, I think that we're going to see a retest at least until this volume cluster here, or this one right here, or this one. Obviously, didn't reach that one. And then, so yeah, and then that's actually, I re-shorted here, because I was expecting when I shorted ES here on Nasdaq, one going back to ES, there was some selling going on here, but then what I didn't like was this bar when it was retesting going up here, it was 2,200 buyers, more buyers than sellers. So I was very cautious. I saw this as continuing, potentially stopping me out, and then I was like, okay, when it pulled back, I just locked. I think I lost one tick on this trade. Yeah, it was one tick higher here, or maybe two ticks higher. Yeah, it was two ticks higher. Oh, sorry, that's the other trade. That's a reshort right here. Yes, it was one tick higher right here. Got out, and then I still liked it when I saw sellers stepping in again with 1,800. Reshorted out at a little bit of a worse price. Caught this short that I'm sure everybody saw there. And then, yeah, right now it's selling off with some selling pressure going on here. But I think for me, this looks interesting for a short, but I just don't like that it's almost 9 o'clock, and considering this market didn't do anything during the 6 o'clock and 7 o'clock and 8 o'clock hour, I don't expect it to be very trendy at 9 o'clock, for example. And that's usually why I stop trading at like 9 Eastern time or Pacific time. So, because that's the lunchtime in New York. So that just kind of summarizes some of the trades I did today. I might, if this becomes trending, like we definitely have NASDAQ pushing lower. One thing I will call out, these are extensions of the initial balance of every, initial balance is the first hour highs and lows, because that's where a lot of the volume is traded. And Sierra chart also has this for free. We have the extension of the initial balance, and these numbers hold so well. We have like the 50%, 100% of this move, and so on. And like, for example, I mean, we could maybe see this live real quick if it gets there fast enough. But that level right here so far is 13,253 on NASDAQ. ES is probably, yeah, it's a lot further because it's not trending down yet. Oh, ES. Yeah, for ES, it's 41.25-ish. Those levels do hold. I'll create a video on how I use them, but I find them very helpful, and I feel like they work almost every day. So it's pretty awesome. But I almost wanted to see it drop there to kind of show it potentially holding, because of how well it works. That's how, like, I guess how confident I am that it probably would hold. But I guess we could maybe go back in like a previous day. So this was yesterday. Oh, I'm trying to remember if I think, yeah, so we had the high hold a little bit here. Actually, in this case, yeah, so it didn't hold the 50% move, but then it stalled out at the 100% move and then sold off quite a bit. And then, let me see, like other examples. Yes, yeah, and then this was on the 5th. So this is Friday. So we had the push up. Yeah, it kind of didn't, yeah, it broke out of the first extension here, but then it like almost to the tick held the next 100% move of the initial balance. So that was, so like almost daily it works. Like, yeah, like here's Thursday of last week, we had market push down, kind of chop around, tested almost to like a few ticks higher, and that was the high of day, and then just sold off. Like, it just, I guess it, yeah, this is already after hours. But yeah, it works a lot. That's NASDAQ ES, very similar. For example, yeah, this was yesterday. We had just market was kind of just flat, and then push lower to this initial balance, found support, recovered all of this drop. This is actually a news drop too, and still found support there, which is pretty awesome. Like, I'm gonna create a video more in depth on this, because I could keep talking about some of my setups for hours, but hopefully you find that like just some of the stuff I'm explaining useful. And if you do, yeah, definitely subscribe or like this video. It definitely helps the YouTube algorithm. I'm fairly new to YouTube, so just started showing kind of my 7+ years of experience in the markets. But yeah, I've been profitable for probably like 3.5 years now. Consistently profitable. I think I've been profitable a little bit longer than that, but I think the first 2-3 years have been just learning. Like, first year, I think I lost a good amount of money because I started trading stocks initially, and then I was trading oil stocks and oil and gold stocks. That's what I was, and so I was looking at the futures market for that, like to see what oil and gold was doing to trade some of those stocks, and then realized like, why am I trading this stuff where I could just go to the source and trade the futures of it? So it's just kind of a little short story of how I got into futures. Yeah, let's see if it reaches there. But see how like with this order flow, it's just so much more clear to understand what the market was doing when I was like trading around here. So we had the market push lower. Obviously, I was shorting around this price is kind of into this value area. It did. I was wrong a little bit here, but it didn't like you want to leave it some room for to breathe. And it like what my stop was about 41.43 here, and then eventually it starts drifting lower with a lot of selling here, and the value was dropping. So as you could see, when I'm saying the value, this is volume profile for this bar. So we have bars here building up, then it dropped lower. Now it's already, people are finding fair value lower on the next bar. So let's say if the fair value was about here 41.4075, let's say from about 41.50 to 41.40, then it drops to 39.25 to like about 37.70. Then this bar right here was pretty clustered here from 38.25 to 37.25. And then now it's building value here. And that's how you could kind of tell how to kind of identify where the market is going in the next, like in the short term. Obviously, you look at like, that's why I have the 1 hour volume profile as well to kind of give me a better sense of the general market moves. So like, that way you try to trade in the right direction. But yeah, no, so that's some of the good calls for me. I think I'm up. I think all my trades were, except one where it was a 1 tick loss, has been like almost very high chance profitability. Yeah, 80% profitable for all my trades today. Yeah, I would have ended this live stream. I'm kind of curious if this is NASDAQ. I want to see it, how it reacts to this first initial balance extension line here. I'm going to show you guys how it kind of works. Definitely have a little bit of FOMO here that I got out a little bit too early. But I feel like, man, this market has been just so slow that I'm like, I'll take the profit and just call it good for the day and not just grind it out here. Okay, going back to NASDAQ. So the target that I'm looking at here is 13,253. And that's for NASDAQ. ES is not even close to that price yet. It's not even testing the initial balance low of the day. So we might not even see this extension at 41.25-ish. But so far, yeah, value is definitely still building lower, and with obviously negative delta as it's dropping, but we have the last few bars from, yeah, basically around when I got out, 8:19 Pacific time. Value was kind of up here, drifted lower. This one was kind of similar to this bar, sold off. Now we're seeing value building up all the way down here. And this bar has 6,000 more contracts to go before it closes. Okay, so right now it's pushing higher here. Yeah, I'm curious. Like, for example, if it pushed all the way to, like, let's say 41.3750, I don't think I'm going to trade anymore. It's 9 o'clock. If it's been choppy this whole time, I don't expect it to be trendy now. So I don't want to just sit and watch it grind or just chop around here. But like an example, if it goes to like 41.3725 into this cluster of orders here, we might see some rejection to continue selling off. But I'm just kind of watching. And again, I was mentioning earlier, I do look at, for example, as it was going up here to 41.36, what's important to look at is what is Nasdaq doing. Started to sell off when it was at those prices, and like when it was pushing here, and that's how you could kind of use both Nasdaq. If you see selling on the Nasdaq and you see this pushing higher, because they're pretty correlated, like almost like what 98% correlation, and you're seeing it pushing into some value areas that you're looking for a short. Yep, like it's pretty nice to take that short, and then you have a higher probability of being right when Nasdaq is also selling off. Because like an example right now, if you're a long ES because of, let's say, some setup, but then if you're not looking at Nasdaq overall trend of what it's doing right now, like it's not going anywhere, like it's going down. And if you're long on ES, it's hard to see this market just rally up unless Nasdaq starts actually drifting higher. If you're seeing a lot of selling pressure, the structure is more bearish, it's unlikely that ES is just going to be rallying by itself. Like that usually never happens. So that's why I always keep switching between different Nasdaq and ES. But yes, here, see, we had almost reached that level. I mean, yeah, definitely still pretty far off, but already finding some support kind of near that area. Yeah, looks like it's probably not gonna exactly reach it, and then what I was trying to show you guys, but this is probably close enough. And because I'm gonna get off. It's on 9:09, and I'm gonna go do other things now. But thanks for watching. Yeah, subscribe if you found any of this information useful. And yeah, like this video, that would help me out. And thanks for watching. I'll be creating some more videos shortly on some more detailed examples on how I find setups and so on. But I hope you found this information useful today from this live trade, and have a good